Okay, so let's head to the heart of Berlin's super lively Kreuzberg district. Tucked inside a historic market hall, there's this incredible story brewing. And it's a story that doesn't start with a sack of grain, but with a blank canvas. We're going to see how the sharp eye of an artist can cook up something really, really special. Let's dive into the world of Heidenpeters.
Now, this isn't just some catchy phrase they slapped on a bottle. Nope. This is the absolute core philosophy of Heidenpeters, a creative little microbrewery that was built on a passion so strong it totally changed a guy's career and helped anchor a whole community hub in the process.
So, how on earth does a successful artist just pivot to brewing beer? I know, it sounds like a massive leap, but when you look a little closer, you realize the two crafts actually have way more in common than you'd think. Let's follow the pretty wild journey of the brewery's founder, Johannes Heidenpeter. So before he was a brewer, Johannes Heidenpeter was a visual artist. And what's so cool is to think of brewing not as some total career change, but just a change of medium. That artistic side of him, that obsession with detail, with composition, the whole creative process, it didn't just vanish. It just got channeled into the complex chemistry of hops, malt, and yeast. You know, every great story has that one moment that kicks everything off. For Johannes, that was back in 2012. He tasted an English-style porter that completely blew his mind and rewired his whole idea of what beer could even be. And that one taste, it sparked a total obsession. He started homebrewing, treating his recipes kind of like sketches, and his friends, well, they were his first customers, cheering him on to think bigger. And pretty soon, he took the leap and decided to turn this new passion into a real-deal microbrewery. But look, a great idea is one thing. You've got to find the perfect home for it. And for a brewery, the location is everything. Heidenpeter's choice of where to set up shop isn't just a backdrop. It's a key ingredient in what makes this whole thing so special. So Heidenpeters is tucked away in the cellar of Markthalle Neun. And this isn't just any old building, you guys. It's a historic market hall, a vibrant, buzzing hub where people gather for everything from street food Thursdays to just grabbing their daily groceries. It really is the beating heart of the neighborhood, a place that just naturally brings people together, which, when you think about it, is the perfect spot for a brewery built on connection. And this is where the genius of the location really shines. The beer is brewed right there in the basement. Then it's stored in these horizontal tanks that are built directly into a cool cement wall. From there, it flows through pipes straight upstairs to the taps in the market. I mean, you literally cannot get any fresher than that. It's such a beautifully simple system that connects the place it's made directly with the place it's enjoyed. And they just keep growing and innovating. They started with a custom-built 400-liter brew house, and now they've expanded to a 1,000-liter system. But what's really cool is it's not just about getting bigger. They're also all about sustainability. They've got this new eco-friendly cooling system that actually recovers heat to pre-warm the water for the next brew. It saves a ton of energy. Okay, let's be real. The story's great, the location is amazing, but it all comes down to what's in the glass, right? The heart of any brewery is the beer itself. So let's get a taste of some of the signature brews that flow from that basement brew house.
All right, first up, we have a huge fan favorite, and it's a perfect example of their modern take on craft beer, the Hazy Heidi.
So this one is a New England pale ale, and it's just this explosion of tropical fruit flavors. You get these soft aromatic notes of citrus and mango that just make it so incredibly easy to drink. It's hazy, it's juicy, and it totally captures their creative, modern style. Next, we've got their take on a classic, the Session IPA. This is a style that's usually designed for easy drinking, but of course, Heidenpeters adds their own unique twist. And that twist is what makes it so interesting. See, a lot of Session IPAs kind of pull back on flavor to keep the alcohol low, but this one is just packed with taste. It's got this satisfying, surprising bitterness, and it's actually pretty punchy for the style. It completely messes with your expectations, in the best way. And finally, you gotta have a nod to the classics. You can't forget a good stout. You know, the kind of rich, dark beer that might have inspired this whole journey in the first place. And theirs is, well, it's everything you want in a classic stout. It's velvety smooth, you get those notes of roasted coffee and dark chocolate. It's strong, it's comforting, and it's just deeply pleasant. It really rounds out a core lineup that shows they can nail modern trends and timeless styles with equal skill. So we've got this great beer, brewed by an artist, served fresh in a historic market hall. But what really makes the combo of Heidenpeters and Markthalle Neun so perfect? Well, it actually gets at this really cool idea from urban planning that explains why some places just feel right. The term they use is a convivial place. It sounds kind of academic, right? But all it really means is those public spaces that feel genuinely alive. They're festive, sociable, and they give you a real sense of belonging. Just think of your favorite city square or that market you love to wander through. That feeling, that's conviviality.
So what's the secret sauce for making a place like this? Well, urbanism research gives us some pretty good clues. A great place needs to feel authentic. It needs tons of different things to do. It works best as this hybrid zone, part public square, part private business. And most importantly, it gives people a chance to really connect with each other. I mean, doesn't that sound exactly like enjoying a fresh beer surrounded by the sounds and smells of a bustling market hall?
And that's the thing, right? You can have urbanists with all their frameworks and theories for what makes a space great, but at the end of the day, the magic of a place like Markthalle Neun is something you just feel. It's where the science of making a place works meets the art of building a community. All right, so you're probably wondering, how can I get in on this? After all this talk, how can you experience this perfect mix of craft beer and community for yourself? Let's get to the logistics.
Look, here's the bottom line. You might see Heidenpeters beer in other places, but trust me, the absolute best way to experience it is right at the source. The taproom in Markthalle Neun is where the beer is the freshest and the atmosphere is the most electric. It is the full intended experience.
And that kind of leaves you with this one big thought, doesn't it? We're always looking for these complex answers to what makes a city tick, what creates a real community. And after exploring Heidenpeters, it seems like sometimes the answer can be beautifully simple. A dedicated artist, a passion for the craft, and a perfect pint served right in the heart of it all.